Donegal girl, wow, you've allowed one Donegal girl to come down here. I thought it was because we beat you all in All Ireland a couple of years ago, and you haven't allowed us down here. It's amazing that Donegal people, I don't know where they all go, but they must go over to Northern Ireland or go to England or Scotland or something to learn that trade. You've all started off, I suppose, when you came to college here, you come in with some knowledge, a lot of knowledge, and that question is the glass half empty or half full, and you're going through a sort of a direction to become competent to do what you do as teachers. Some of you will be totally competent, some of you will be still thinking a little bit about it. You've gone through the exams and so on, and you've gone through that whole sort of formal learning situation through education courses. It's exactly the same when we do coach education, and I've been heavily involved in that over the last, probably since I retired. My life has been involved in the whole education of coaches and tutors and so on. But the big thing is this whole formal, informal learning. And how do we learn? How does Packie Bonner learn to become able to stand up here and address you and so on? It's about life experiences. And you're going into this sort of situation now in life where you're going to step into this world of, some of you have been working before, some of you have a lot of experience, you've come back to college, but most of you are going in to start working for the very first time. And that experience of learning starts with driving a car, you get your license. I've got a license, something I have to start learning, and I've got to go out there, and it comes with huge experience of life. And we dip in and out of formal education as we go along. You will get training, you will get workshops and so on, and you go through that right up to, and the question will be, are we competent to carry out the tasks that you're expected to do as a teacher, and how do we get to that point? This development pathway that we're on, and that I've been on for the last 40, 50 years of my life, it's an interesting one. It's not linear, it's not dead straight. You're in the mix of it, and sometimes it becomes very demanding, and you're sort of stuck in the middle of it and saying, how do I move on? And can I tell you also, there is huge challenges to move on. There's a challenge for me. When I was a young man in Donegal, growing up, I wanted to follow my dream to become a footballer. But it was a challenge, huge challenge, to leave a country background, like up in the northwest of Donegal and Morton Port, leave a family and leave a twin brother and friends, and to go into a city like Glasgow. That was a huge challenge for me, and especially my personality. And sometimes you can hide behind everything and not take on the challenge. You can stay here in wherever you're from, in Cork or something, and the challenge might be that I want to go abroad. This is a challenge. And you can say, no, I'm not going to take it on. You've got to let go, definitely let go of some things. You've got to let go of your friends, you've got to let go of some things that you're used to. But can I tell you, there's sometimes fantastic opportunities. I've been very fortunate that I've moved on, and I moved to Glasgow and met some fantastic people, and they've helped educate me. They've also helped me to expand as a human being, and I've travelled around the world with it. And I've been very, very fortunate. Some success, some failures along the way. And I think you, sitting there now thinking, what am I going to do in the next couple of years? Can I wait? Can I go into I might not get a teaching job. I might have to hang around for a while and wait. Or do you take on that challenge and you go somewhere and build up that fantastic experience of travelling around and taking a job somewhere? Whether it's here in Ireland, whether it's up in Donegal, whether it's in Scotland or over in England, where Claire was talking about. And growth, for me, you have to change. You have to change some things about yourself, your behaviour, your friends, whatever, you have to change. And you have to build up and grow relationships along the way. It's exactly the same within your classroom. You're trying to change young people to become better, more educated. You've got to grow relationships with them. And you've got to create the right climate, the right environment for that to happen. And you will be challenged along the way. That's part of your teaching, I suppose, learning since you've gone to university. But how do you do it? You've got to step in there and take that challenge on to do it. The other thing I want to just very briefly touch on is this whole thing about culture. I've travelled around Europe, travelled through the world, been lucky through football to get that opportunity to travel and meet different people from different cultures. And believe me, when you go to Scotland and you go to Glasgow and you meet different people from different walks of life, you can say that you can think about where I come from in Donegal. You can say, if I don't move out of that sort of environment and I don't move away from it, it can hold me back and it can be very limiting. But it also, if you open up your mind to learn from others, it can be a fantastic experience. Going into London, going into the southeast of England, meeting different people, you can actually grow fantastically. And who knows, in a couple of years' time, if you do take that step, you can come back here with all that enriched experience to take you on in life. There is, I suppose, there's more than one way, that's the message. You have to experience it, you have to go for it, and you have to find your own way. Don't think about the person beside you. There's huge competition in here, of course, for jobs, there's no question about that. You can help each other, but you have to find your own way in life. And if you go around and speak to the guys, they'll talk to you. We're back here next Tuesday.